morning, student. Today I am going to discuss different atomic models. After the discovery of electrons, protons and neutrons, the arrangement of electrons, protons, neutrons in an atom was most important thing, so that number of scientists put forwarded to propose their atomic models. Among that, only few scientists would able to explain the electrical neutrality of an atom. So in the first PUC today's class, I am going to discuss only two models. Those are J.J. Thomson model of an atom and Rutherford's nuclear model of an atom. So first I will take up J.J. Thomson model of atom. J.J. Thomson's model of atom. J.J. Thomson's model of atom. J.J. Thomson in 1898 he proposed his atomic model. According to J.J. Thomson, the atom is spherical in shape with radius 10 to the power of minus 10 meter, that is 1 Armstrong unit. So according to him, the atom is spherical in shape with radius 10 to the power of minus 10 meter. He assumed that the mass of an atom is uniformly distributed in whole atom. The mass of an atom is uniformly distributed in whole atom. Actually, the positively charged particles are more responsible for mass of an atom because the mass of proton is very high compared to mass of an electron. So mass of an atom in the sense the positive charge here we have to consider here. So they are considered the positive charge. So the mass of an atom is uniformly, that is positively charged particles are uniformly distributed in whole atom like this, in which the electrons are immersed so that they can able to balance electrical neutrality. So this is the mass of an electron, and in which the electrons are immersed. These are the electrons, so that they could able to maintain electrical neutrality. So this is J.J. Thomson atomic model. This model is also named by different names, that is resin pudding, plum pudding and watermelon atomic models. To convince you people, if I take watermelon atomic model, so this atom resembles watermelon, in which the fruit part they compare to mass of an atom, and the seeds or plums they compare to an electron. Okay, the electrons are embedded in the mass which are positively charged, and so thereby they are going to maintain electrical neutrality. Thereby they are going to maintain electrical neutrality. Okay, so this resembles watermelon, and so that this model is also called watermelon atomic model. And also if we take payasam if we take, in that the dry fruits they compare to electrons, and the reva part they compare to mass, and so that this is called resin pudding or plum pudding, and this is watermelon atomic model. This model failed after observing Rutherford alpha ray scattering experiment results. Alpha ray scattering experiments results. After observing the alpha ray scattering experiment results, this model failed. The feature of this model is the mass is uniformly distributed in whole atom. The feature of this model is the mass is uniformly distributed in whole atom. Okay. Next, I will go for Rutherford nuclear model of an atom. Rutherford nuclear model of atom. This is also called alpha ray scattering experiment. Alpha ray scattering experiment. Okay. Rutherford, in his alpha ray scattering experiment, he took alpha rays from a radioactive source. And he allowed the alpha rays to fall on a very thin gold foil. He allowed the alpha rays to fall on a very thin gold foil. This is a lead filter to filter other radiations to allow only alpha particle. These are alpha rays from radioactive thorium they used here, and this gold foil is surrounded by a fluorescent screen. This gold foil is surrounded by fluorescent material. When alpha rays falls on fluorescent material, they are going to form bright spots. Indicate the presence of alpha particles. So to identify the presence of alpha particle, they are keeping fluorescent screen. Generally, zinc sulfide, their sheets they are keeping ZNS. Generally, they are using ZNS. So alpha particles, they allowed alpha particles to fall on gold foil. According to Thomson, an atom is positively charged particle. According to Thomson, the mass of an atom is uniformly distributed in whole atom. And these alpha particles, alpha particle is dipositive helium nucleus. Dipositive helium nucleus, which is positive in nature. When they approach this atom, there should be a deviation. They have to slow down, and there should be a small deviation. But they were observed different results. So they observed that observations of alpha ray scattering experiment, they observed that almost all the alpha particles, they passed through the gold foil without any deflection. They are undeflected. most of the alpha particles, they pass through gold foil and deflected. Okay, most of the alpha particles, they pass through gold foil without any deflection. Second one, few alpha particles deviated with a small angle, deflected with small angle, they deflected with small angle, and a very few alpha particle, that is in 1 in 20,000, they rebounds are deflected by an angle 180. Okay, these are the observation observed by Rutherford. What was the thing? According to Thomson, this is also positively charged particles. These are also where the positive charge is uniformly distributed according to Thomson, and these alpha particles which are dipositive helium nucleus, so that there should be a repulsion, and so that they have to slow down and they have to deviate with a small angle. It was not like that, but most of the alpha particle passed through the gold foil and deflected. A few alpha particle deflected with a small angle, and a very few alpha particles 1 in 20,000 rebounced. They were rebounced, so they are deflected by an angle 180 degree. Okay, so these are important observation. They will ask, write any three observations of alpha ray scattering experiment they will ask. Then by observing all the above results, Rutherford concluded that because most of the alpha particles passed through the gold foil and deflected, and so that most of the space in an atom is empty, so that there is no repulsion. So most of the space in an atom is empty, and so that they are passed through gold foil without any deflection. There is no repulsion, so that they pass through gold foil or pass through the atom. It is free space is there, large free space is there, so that without any deviation they pass through the gold foil, he concluded. Then second conclusion, a few alpha particles deflected with a small angle, that is because all the positive charge of an atom is concentrated very small region, in a very small region of an atom, and it is not uniformly distributed, as Thomson said, and so that when a very few alpha particles, when they pass through gold foil nearer to that positive core, then they are deflected with a small angle, they deviated with a small angle. Okay, so next, a very few 1 in 20,000 they rebounded or deflected by an angle 180. That is because when alpha particle those which approaches this positive core directly, then there is a strong repulsion between alpha particles and this positive core. They bounced back or deflected with an angle 180. These are the conclusions. Okay, most of the alpha particles pass through gold foil without any deflection. That is because most of the space in an atom is empty. Few alpha particles deflected by small angle because all the positive charge in an atom is concentrated in a very small region and it is not distributed uniformly, as Thomson said, and so that there is a small repulsion between these particles and positive core in the center, so that there is a small deflection. But a very few, 1 in 20,000, they rebounded. That is due to when alpha particles approaches directly to the positive core, then they rebounded or they deflected by an angle 180. These are the observations and conclusions. By giving both these observations and conclusion, Rutherford proposed his nuclear model of atom. According to Rutherford nuclear model of an atom, first one, all positive charge and mass of an atom is concentrated at the center of an atom in a very small region called nucleus. He is the first person to name this as nucleus, in a very small region called nucleus. Then second point, the electrons are revolving around the nucleus in a circular path called orbit. Called orbit. All the electrons are revolving in a circular path around the nucleus. That path is called as orbit. This Rutherford nuclear model resembles solar system. This model resembles solar system in which nucleus plays a role of sun, and the electrons that of revolving planets. It resembles similar to our solar system, in which they compared nucleus to sun and electrons to revolving planets. And last one, the centrifugal force. Centrifugal force acting outwards balances the inward Coulombic force of attraction by the nucleus. And thereby stabilizes the electrons in their orbits. And also he calculated and showed that Rutherford calculated and showed that the volume of nucleus is negligible as compared to volume of an atom. Then he found that, if he calculated that, he found that the radius of an atom is equal to approximately 10 to the power of minus 10 meter, that is 1 Armstrong unit, and the radius of nucleus is the radius of atom is found to be 10 to the power of minus 10 meter, that is 1 Armstrong unit. The radius of nucleus is equal to 10 to the power of minus 15 meter, that is 1 Fermi. The radius of atom found to be 10 to the power of minus 10 meter is equal to 1 Armstrong unit, and he calculated the radius of nucleus is 10 to the power of minus 15 meter, that is 1 Fermi. So, by observing both observations and conclusions, Rutherford given nuclear model of atom. According to Rutherford, all the positive charge and mass of an atom is concentrated at the center of an atom in a very small region called nucleus. The electrons are revolving around the nucleus in a circular path called orbit. This model resembles the solar system, in which nucleus plays a role of sun and the electrons that of revolving planet. The centrifugal force acting outwards balances the inward Coulombic force of attraction by the nucleus. Thereby, it stabilizes the electrons in their orbits. And also he calculated and showed that the volume of nucleus is very small. It is negligible compared to the volume of an atom. And also he calculated and he given the value, the radius of an atom to be 10 to the power of minus 10 meter, that is 1 Armstrong unit, and that of nucleus is 10 to the power of minus 15 meter, that is 1 Fermi. Next to the drawbacks of Rutherford nuclear model of atom. Rutherford successfully explained the presence of positively charged proton and presence of electron around it, so that he was able to explain the results of alpha ray experiment, so that successfully explained the results of alpha ray experiment, but he failed to explain the stability of atom, and second one, electronic structure of atom, So in first I will take up stability of an atom. This Rutherford model was disproved by Maxwell's electromagnetic theory. Maxwell's electromagnetic theory disproves Rutherford's model of atom. According to electromagnetic theory, any charged particles under acceleration should emit radiation in the form of radiation. According to electromagnetic theory, any charged particle under acceleration should emit radiation in the form of electromagnetic radiation. Now the electron which is a charged particle, when it revolves around the nucleus, it should, according to electromagnetic theory, it should emit radiation in the form of electromagnetic radiation, and it has to loses its energy and it has to come closer to the nucleus, spirally come closer to the nucleus and then it has to falls to the nucleus. But this does not happen, but still atom is stable and matter is also existing, and so that Rutherford failed to account for the stability of an atom. Then second one, he did not say anything regarding the arrangement of electrons in the orbit, because all the electrons are like negatively charged particle, there will be repulsion, so that how these electrons are arranged within the orbit and how far from the nucleus, he didn't say anything regarding this one. And so the two major drawbacks of Rutherford nuclear model of atom. Okay, so mass number and atomic number. Okay, here we knows that equal number of, so these are the positive charge, equal number of positive charge and negative charges are present. In the nucleus. From the above atomic models, we came to know that equal number of positive charge and equal number of negative charge. Both proton and neutrons are present in the nucleus. These are called nucleons. The protons and neutrons are called nucleons. The sum of the total number of protons and the total number of neutrons is called mass number. Capital letter A. Then atomic number, and also they showed that in both the models, in J.J. Thomson as well as in Rutherford model, both they showed that number of positive charge is equal to number of negative charge. Protons and electrons. So now the total number of protons or total number of protons or the total number of electrons is called atomic number. The total number of proton or the total number of electron is called atomic number. We are representing with a symbol Z, capital Z. To mention for an element X, we are mentioning mass number and atomic number with an element X, symbol X. In the superscript left side A, superscript left side A represents mass number, and subscript Z represents atomic number. It means, so this symbol represents symbol of an element. This symbol represents an element. Superscript capital A at the left, it represents mass number, and subscript Z represents atomic number, which represents the number of protons or the number of electrons which are present in an atom X. Okay. Now next, isotopes and isobars. Isotopes and isobars. If isotopes are an elements which are having same atomic number. So isotopes are the number of elements which are having same atomic number are called isotopes. For example, hydrogen, if I take hydrogen, so in hydrogen H11, then deuterium, isotope of hydrogen 2,1, and tritium T31, in which atomic number is same. They are having same Z value, but different mass number. Here only one proton, but it is having a different mass, and it is having a different mass. These are called isotopes. Then what are isobars? Isobars, they have different Z value. They are having same A value. Okay. They are elements which are having same mass number. Isobars having same mass number and different atomic number. Example, carbon 14 6, nitrogen 14. Example, carbon 14 and nitrogen 14. Carbon atomic number is 6, nitrogen atomic number is 7. So they are having same mass, but a different atomic number. Okay. This is about atomic models. So today I will stop here.